Welcome back to another episode of Good Luggage. Today on the channel we're going to be testing out ADBL's tyre and rubber cleaner. There has been so much hype and speculation on Facebook and forums about this product, and I really wanted to try it to see exactly what it was like or what difference it could make to my washing of tyres routine as such. I'm going to be testing up against another product that I use quite regularly, that being Surfex HD from Bilt Hamber. I'm going to go look through, I suppose, a bit of real time. Might just speed it up a little bit because it was a bit long. But real-time tests between Surfex and this and see what sort of differences it can make. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe down below. I've noticed that there's a lot of people that are watching the video that haven't yet subscribed, so please do your best and hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified every time that I release a video then. Generally it's weekly, mostly related to detailing, but I am bringing other aspects into it as regards having a workspace or a proper workspace for your own business, including the building of a new computer that I just did there recently. So sit back and enjoy the video. There are some parts where I was filming and was outside and stuff, and I've actually noticed that the wind is too much, so I'm going to be doing a little bit of voiceover for that one, so hopefully it doesn't take away too much from the video, but I'll explain all the processes throughout the video. Okay, so for this video we are going to test the ADBL against what I would normally use. Now you might have your own ways of doing things, but I'm going to use Surfex HD. That's diluted down 9:1, and I'm also going to do another test with Surfex as a just concentrate as you buy it straight from the shop then. Now you may already have your own go-to brands for tyre cleaners and different things, but what's been talked about an awful lot of the time on forums and on Facebook and stuff is talking about this ADBL and how good it is. So I would normally use the Surfex dilution. Sometimes if it was really bad tyre I would use Surfex pure concentrate straight from the bottle. I think it does a much better job. So we're going to test it out and see exactly what sort of a difference it can make. Okay, so first impressions. I haven't opened this around like that, so we'll see what it smells like anyway. It doesn't smell anything really bad or anything like that. I'm going to test the pH levels of this as well. Is it more alkaline or acidic based, or where does it stand? Let's get it right in there. Where is it? There we go. So straight off then, on that one we're looking at a pH of about 12. So fairly alkaline based. Yeah, it's roughly around 12. So that's for the ADBL. And then versus the Surfex, we'll just hit a spray onto it and see. Is that it? Again, 12 again. 12 is showing up on the pH scale then, on that one. So they're roughly around the same on the pH table. I wonder if this is any different actually. This is the diluted one, so let's just see, does this make any difference? Again, it's 9:1. Just for shits and giggles, let's give it a go and see. Okay, so yeah, even though it's still diluted, it's still showing up the same. So it's actually good to know in Surfex HD that if you dilute it down a little bit, it's actually looking at 11 more, so between 11 and 12. So there's not a huge amount difference between the concentrate and this one. I suppose it's just the strength. So as you can see, I have 3 sections marked off. 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to do the Surfex. What one will I do there? I'll do the regular Surfex around here on this side. I'll do the diluted version 9:1 here. I'll do ADBL on this side then. So let's see. And around there. I've also did little markers here, little things here to stop kind of overspray of different products onto each one. Then hopefully that'll work anyway. So Surfex. You can see that run off down there, that's brilliant. Ow. 9:1. Okay, and then the ADBL. Put this back into it. Heard so many great things about this one. We're really looking forward to this one. See how actual well it does. Stream. Let's go spray. Okay. So straight away, a lot more foam here, a lot more dirt running off, which is something that I wasn't expecting. Let's move this down a bit. So that's great. You can see it's already working straight off. Surfex, I know Surfex works like plain concentrate. It does work, but it's not actually doing anything there. And then the 10-to-1 is just obviously sitting on the wheel then. So interesting to see that the ADBL is straight away getting to work. So let's go and start scrubbing then. So that's all I'm going to do with that. I'm going to rinse the brush. Alright, work at the 10-to-1, or 9-to-1, sorry. Okay, that'll rub it, rinse it off. Yeah, ADBL. Straight away pumping up. That's a good sign. See the dirt coming off of there. Get going. Okay. Roughly give them the same on each one. Let's rinse them off. Okay, now got to get the dryer and try and dry it off and see what happens. So, what do we find? It's definitely cleaned it up. Maybe it mustn't have been the dirtiest wheel to start it off with. I mean, the Surfex concentrate and the ADBL seems to be kind of similar, but then the actual 10-to-1 seems to be similar as well. Now, I have had times in the past when I've used the 9-to-1, sorry, and it hasn't actually been cleaning properly. You'd always have to go over it again. So I think we might try a dirtier wheel and see what happens. Okay, so we've moved on to a dirtier wheel. So this is a truck tire, and it's definitely never been cleaned properly before in its lifetime anyway. Now, I didn't actually bring the 9-to-1 ratio with me, so I just had to work off the Surfex concentrate on the left and the ADBL on the right hand side. So straight away, again, you can see why the foaming aspect of the ADBL is liked by so many then. Just a little test before we do dry it. Just going to wipe it with a rag once, just a cloth or a white piece of paper. See if there is any dirt still coming off the wheels at all. It's not a really great test, but at least it's something anyway to add. A little bit of dirt left on the ADBL. Surfex. A little bit as well. Do it one more time. Just do a bit of a proper scrub and see. So this is ADBL side. Not much. Then Surfex side. There's a bit more. A bit more dirt on the Surfex side. Seems that way anyway. Let's blow it and see. Okay, so now still looking a bit chalky anyway now, mind you, but I suppose if you were to put a bit of dressing on it, it might change it a little bit. So that's your ADBL compared to our Surfex. It's pure concentrate Surfex now. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if it's going to show from the video or not. From a cleaning perspective, it actually looks as if ADBL has actually done a little bit better, quite a bit better actually. By the looks of it, I think on the recommendations of ADBL tire cleaner, they say possibly, you know, have to repeat steps 1 and 2 and 3 again. You know, obviously water the wheel, spray the stuff on, wipe down the brush, etc. But after one go, definitely I think the ADBL has done a bit of a better job, quite a much better job than the pure concentrate Surfex anyway. Okay, so still not convinced by the two products and just trying to still figure it out exactly. I went back to my own wheel on my own car. Now this wheel has been cleaned quite a number of times, obviously using Surfex prior to this. So the fact that the last wheel on the truck was a wheel that was never dirty before, or sorry, never cleaned properly before. These wheels have been cleaned properly before. So I kind of wanted to see, I just can't get my head around which one is going to be the better one or not, or which one is going to come out tops on this one. Now, Surfex is being water-based, the ADBL being solvent-based. There is differences there and how far it will penetrate into the tyre as well. So these are all sort of aspects that I'm trying to figure out myself for the review of the video then. Now, again, at the end of it, you can still see the stripes. You see the marks there from where the tape was at. So that's the original looking part of the tyre anyway. You can see the anti-ozonants there, the brown on the rubber. Now they are an actual factor of the tyre that you actually need to, you know, it's part of the makeup of the tyre. So in theory you don't want to be getting rid of them, but at the same time it looks better without them. So on the right with ADBL, there's not much sign of any of the brown on the tyre. On the left it's the same, there's not much there, but again going back to the fact that this tyre has been cleaned quite a lot of times using the Surfex. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is it looks as if they both do the same job, the only difference being that the ADBL side will actually penetrate further and take away a lot more sort of dirt from within the tyre or anti-ozonant then. So where do we stand on both the products then? They both do a very similar job in the sense that they will clean the tyre on the outside, you know, as you see it, it will clean properly. They may need 1 or 2 more shots just to get rid of, you know, get rid of the dirt. There might be still some left, so do another shot then. Okay, so we know that they both clean that, so that's a tick on both of their parts anyway. It's clear to see from the videos though that the ADBL definitely has a much foamier action than the Surfex itself. The foamier action from the ADBL then creates a lot more lubrication as regards if you want it, or for when you're going to be putting the brush around the tyre. So there's less of a need for any sort of dedicated wheel shampoos or anything like that when it comes to using for tyres. So whereas the Surfex, once you spray it on, it foams a little bit, then you spray around, but it's just the foam, it loses out, and it's basically it doesn't feel or doesn't look as if it's doing anything, whereas this is just constantly spreading the foam around. And I know for a fact then once foam is sitting on a particular item then as well, the foam is actually still working away, so you can rub away and you see it's all foaming up, but that's not the product finish. It's still actually working on whatever you're cleaning itself. So in this case it's cleaning the tyre. So once you've rubbed it, it's sitting there, it's still working away, which is a great thing then as well. Once you spray the products onto the tyre itself, the two products, both of them, you can see all the dirt and stuff running down the wheel. Particularly the ADBL though, it's really very noticeable when it's running down the wheel. But again, at the same time, the two of them still do it. It's just a bit more noticeable with the ADBL, so it kind of shows and proves that it's kind of doing the same thing in a sense. So throughout the video, throughout the testing, I was kind of unconvinced about ADBL, to be perfectly honest with you. I was a little bit unconvinced as why should I actually go for the likes of ADBL. Whilst after doing all the tests, I've done a little bit more research and a bit more looking into it and stuff, and I've figured out that from talking to a couple of people then as well, a couple of people who have used it, I wanted to get their impressions or get their ideas about the product as well. And they kind of opened up my eyes a little bit just to see exactly what the benefits could be of such a product like this. So obviously, being a solvent sprayer or solvent product, this will actually penetrate into the tyre that little bit more than the likes of your Surfex HD. So Surfex will clean the outside, ADBL will clean the outside, the 9:1 will also clean the outside. You just may need a couple of more passes from that. The only thing is though, I can see that this one will last that little bit longer because it is actually penetrating, it's a solvent base, it's penetrating into the rubber that little bit more, so it's actually getting rid of a hell of a lot more dirt. So in theory, again as well, you talk about when you're going to wax a car, you use your IPA then just to get rid of any old residues or any dirt or anything like that. In theory, if you're going dressing a tyre, your Surfex will get rid of the front bit, put on your dressing, but it's not fully cleaned as such, or it's not cleaned as much as it could be. Whereas this, if you put this on your tyre and then go to dress it, well, this is taking away a hell of a lot more dirt. Therefore, in theory, it should be better for a dressing to be sticking on and staying onto a tyre. So it's kind of a plus on that one for being a solvent-based product as such. Yeah, I think it really swayed me when I went and did the truck wheel, the wheel that has never actually been washed properly before, cleaned properly before. You can really see the difference of where the ADBL is standing out above the Surfex HD. Yeah, the Surfex, it did clean it, eventually did clean it, but on the first initial pass, using the ADBL and using the strong brush then, a lot of the anti-ozonants were taken out of the right hand side compared to the left. Therefore, it kind of brings you to a bit of a conclusion that if you're cleaning cars as such, or it depends how often you clean a certain car. And again, another bit of advice that I got as well was that possibly this product, although it's much stronger, may be more beneficial if you're doing the likes of a monthly wash. So where you get to build up and build up and build up, and then use this to really power it home and hammer out all the dirt that's in the wheels. Whereas if you're doing maybe a regular maintenance wash on a car weekly or whatever the case might be, maybe the likes of something a bit less, more powerful than the ADBL would be better. The likes of the Surfex HD diluted down 9:1 or whatever. Pricing of the two bottles themselves, ADBL comes in at $15.50 per litre, and the Surfex then is €12 per litre. Now the Surfex can be diluted down as well, so it can last a lot, so it's a cheaper cleaning product as such. But if you're looking for that real deep clean of a tyre, a proper clean, I think the ADBL is worth it, even if it was just for the foaming process itself. Like, even the foam, it's just a much nicer process to be working with the foam, you know, and the fact that it stays on the tyre for a hell of a lot longer than any of the other products. We know for a fact that it's still working away even though you've finished cleaning it and stuff. So I think it's a great product. I'm happy enough that I'll be using this now in future going forward, but I still will be using the likes of the Surfex or whatever products you might use then for your own maintenance washes then. There was only one real issue that I did have with this product, and it's not a massive issue at the same time, but the trigger sprayer, it does work perfectly, but you have stream and you have spray on the other side. The only little small issue that I'd have is that they're actually mixed up. Now, I don't know if it's just this trigger, it was a bad trigger that was sent out from the factory or whatever it is, but it's just a mix up that the spray is actually the spray is actually the stream and the stream is actually the spray. But other than that then, I love the packaging. It gives great instructions, it gives you all the info inside as well, what's in it and what's happening on it and stuff. So that was really helpful, kind of trying to figure out what was actually in the product as well and trying to understand it a little bit more. Okay, so have you used this product yourself? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments what exactly you do think of the product. I think it's brilliant, possibly more for the likes of a monthly or a heavy duty sort of proper clean of a tyre. I definitely will be using it. I didn't use a hell of a lot on one tyre. I think it's going to last a hell of a long time, and for $15.50 to give it a good proper clean, I think it's well worth the value then at the same time. So if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel there, hit the red button. It can only help the channel grow. I've seen in the past that a lot of people are actually viewing the videos but they're not actually subscribing, so please, if you could, just hit the red button there for me. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and that you got something out of it. I tried to keep it a little bit as real time as possible, so there's no trickery going on, it's just exactly how it is. So if you enjoy that type of video, please let me know. If you'd like me to speed them up a little bit, please let me know again in the comments. But anyway, till the next video, thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.